Okay, let's do our spirit read. The first card out was spontaneous. The next one is devoted. I don't know. Well, bear with me. This shows everything backwards. I forgot to use the other program. So let's look for the astrological one with that. So with spontaneous, it's a journey. Okay, we're in a journey, and being spontaneous is an important part of it. Okay, not being so rigid. If you're going to achieve, we got Capricorn there, if you're going to achieve, you need to be devoted. You need to be devoted if you are going to achieve. Let's see what else we have with these to round out the reading. Okay, I think, yeah, we'll just go ahead and grab this one. This is fine. I usually like to use my Heaven and Earth cards, but they're in the other room, so I'll just grab these. This will be fine. So with spontaneous progressions, okay, against, now the devil is indicative of something that one is tied to, something that is fueling ego. It can be fueling ego, it could be attachments to things that are binding one, keeping one closed off, okay? So you've got to take action, devoted, if you're going to overcome those type of things. You have to get spontaneous, is telling me about, you have to leave those things behind. You have to be willing to make a change, an adjustment. If you are in something and it's got you in a rut, you're tied to a rut, it's kind of chaining you down, then you need to break free of it by sometimes being spontaneous. So the devil doesn't always mean really like demonic, that type of thing. People see the devil card and they freak out sometimes. Doesn't mean the devil's after you, okay? It means that the devil can also represent things that you are tied to, things that keep you chained down. So in this, it's saying you have to be spontaneous on your journey, not be locked in, not being locked in, because that chains you. So what is it that you are chained to? What has got you locked into ego, into that drama? Okay? So in order to change, you have to be spontaneous, be willing to move forward, take action, be devoted to achieve, to break free of whatever it is that is holding you and keeping you chained. Because if you see the chains on there, they're loosely chained. It's not that they're heavily bound up. They are loosely chained, okay? So you can get free of it. You can get free of it, but you've got to be willing to be spontaneous and move forward, okay, to change the direction that one is going. Be willing to take an action. What action is needed to break free? And you've got to be devoted, willing to put it into place to achieve freedom, okay? So this is a journey we're making. If you're wanting to know God, if you're wanting to know the divine is, if you're wanting to come to enlightenment, then you have to be free of the chains that bind you. And that takes making the journey. being spontaneous, putting into action, continuing forward, even when the things get difficult. Okay? Because you're going to see that these things that have had you chained are illusions. Just like the chains the devil has around them there. Okay? They're loose chains. You can get free of it. Okay? But you've got to be willing to change your actions. You've got to be willing to be spontaneous, not in such a rigid mode. So when I keep seeing that, I just see somebody's very rigid, set in their ways, okay? And so that has them chained. That is to them a place of just as bad as being addicted to drugs, or it's an addiction to a rigid place, a rigid way of being, that everything has to be in order. Everything has to, it's kind of like somebody that's got OCD, okay? That you're doing all of these things, it has to be done. I just have seen that movie with, what's his name? As Good as It Gets, okay? Where he's got OCD, you know, and finally starts to break free of some of the things. But I get that feeling with this morning. Being tied to some rigidity, okay, that you've got to be spontaneous, to be willing to move forward, to take action, to break through, to break free of it, okay? So that's what the whole journey is about. It's about making the journey and confronting the illusions that have kept one bound, okay? The illusions that have kept one bound. So I'm going to leave this here. Much love and light. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you online.